TGI Friday. This is John McEntyre of John McEntyre Live. Today is Friday, June 21st, 2024. Second day of summer, and it's already hot. As usual, I was talking about it yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy hot. It's about to go into the 90s here. And second day of the summer, already going into the 90s. So you have to pardon me if I have like little slips here and there. I don't function well with the heat. Even though it's cool in here, just knowing that it's hot sort of affects me a little bit. But it is Friday. I'm going to get ready for the weekend. Actually, the last week of June. So we're going to finish out last week of the first half of the year. So we're going into, we're almost done, pretty much done with the first half of the year. And so we want to get on track, on target to get geared to go into the second half, because before you know it, it'll be Christmas. And so we want to get some momentum built, go into the second half of the year, and finish out 2024 strong. So you know the routine. We're going to start with wallet wins. Today is being Friday. It is Success Book Club Friday, and I'm going to share one of my favorite books of all time. I'll do the question of the day, and then we'll be ready for the weekend. So the first wallet win is actually a testimonial. So it was pretty much a thank you email. This one was for Andrea with a client. And basically I'm like breaking it down into one sentence, saying thanks to Andrea for helping me find a health, dental, and vision plan. Because when you do those, when you're outside of a, employee, working for someone, most of the time we work with them, their benefits, it's like almost like one plan. It seems to you that it's one plan. Well, when you get your plan outside, if you're self-employed or you needed to get something individually for the family, then you basically find a health plan. Then you put together some dental and some vision. Whatever it is, you build it. And so Andre basically built a plan for a package, rather, insurance package for a family. And they were very thankful because it came in at in their budget. So that's always a good thing. And so, yeah. Wallet win number 2, just paid off my first credit card, and there's a lot of exclamation points behind it. So I take it that this person didn't think that would ever happen. They would ever pay off a credit card. Didn't say how many more to go, but I'll take one. One is a win. Paid off one, it's a win. If you cut it up, or get rid of it, that's another win. Because really, with average person, especially with today's credit issues being so high, especially credit card use, it's not good to have a lot of credit cards, at your disposal. And that's just being a human being. If you have them, you will use them. So if you're breaking a habit, if that's the way you've always ran your finances was through credit cards, then cutting them up and coming down to one, and the reason why I say one is, travel, you do get points. I'm not anti-credit card. I'm not one of those say cut up all credit cards and just use a debit card and everything. That it does work. Not saying that it doesn't work. It's for certain people, it's just not necessary. Financially responsible person who travels a lot. Um, they go, when they go on vacation, they're using hotels and whatever suites, whatever. Then it comes in handy, and it does build up points. And flying, booking flights and everything. I know with us, um, with our daughter, with Bella, with her swimming, we travel. And so Andrea, she takes care of, booking the rooms and all of this type of stuff, and all of that's taken care of. And, she'll say, hey, I was able, I'm using points, or I'm doing whatever. So, hey, benefit to me, I'll take it. It's a benefit. And some say, those points, they don't matter and all of that. Well, saving, if it saves me money, it matters. So I'm going to take it. Now, some people, they just can't, they don't do well. It's like, a credit card is like any other, it's like a knife. You can use a knife, you can cook, you can do all types of productive things with it, or you can murder. It can be a weapon. So credit card or gun or anything. So I look at a credit card the same way. It could be a valuable tool in your financial toolbox, or it can be a weapon against you. It can almost be almost like a drug. You become addicted to them, and you overusing them and not paying them off and all of these things, and they can ruin you. So that's how I look at a credit card use. So this particular person, if they paid off their first credit card, so it sounds like something that they really had to work hard at. So let's just get it down to one. If you have multiple cards, get it down to one. Lowest interest rate, no fees, no annual fees, all of this good stuff, and work with that one. And so yeah, good wallet win. Wallet win number 3, was able to cut my utility bills by 30%. Now that's a good one, especially this time of the year, because most of the time utilities increase by almost 30% this time of the year. Water usage goes up, air conditioning, uh, especially the air. I know me, I'm not going to cut the air off as hot as it is. We're going on to those 90 plus degree days, and then at night it's still almost 80 degrees. No. So utility, for someone to actually cut their utility bill by 30%, I really would like to know what all they've done. What did they cut? Because um, I want to see that one. I just want to see it. I want to see it. So I'm just going to leave it there, because there's definitely something I can learn there with that one, cutting utility bill by 30%. I mean, and that's good. 30% is just good, period. I mean, it doesn't matter. It is excellent this time of the year, but 30% is good, all the way across the board. So yeah, there we go. 3 good wallet wins. Thank Andrea for helping put together a comprehensive health plan with, health insurance, vision, and dental. Uh, just paid off the first credit card and was able to cut my utility bill by 30%. 3 good wallet wins to kick off the weekend. And if you have wallet wins, please share them. If you're watching now, put them in the comments. Put hashtag wallet win or wallet win. Put the hashtag in front of it or something so that we can identify it. If you have a question, put a Q in front of it, and that will let us know that there's a question or a comment and waiting for us, and we'll be able to interact with you while we're live here. And we're also live on Facebook and YouTube now. So I was about to say, let's get into our question, but today is Success Book Friday, Success Book Club Friday. And so today's book, near and dear, not just to my heart, but to a lot of people's heart. And that is uh, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Um, Probably one of the best selling books in history. You have the Bible, then you have Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. I think it's the second highest selling. Well, this one is almost in the top 5. It's close to being in the top 5 selling books of all time. And as you can tell, this is an old one. You see, it's worn. It's been read. It's been read and it's been marked up. See, and that's old. I bought this book in the '90s, in the mid '90s. The first book I recommended was not the first book, but one of the books I recommended was Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by the same author and W. Clement Stone. And in that book, it talks about this book, because this book was actually written first, but I found the other book first, and so then I went and got this one. So I read them both in tandem. They're just 2 books that I constantly read. In this book, you can tell this is one of the older versions. It says on here that this book could be worth $1 million to you. You say amen. I know a lot of people say amen to that. When you talk to someone successful and you ask them what they read, even ministers, it doesn't matter, ministers, politicians, business people, entertainers, all the way across the board. Think and Grow Rich was one of their books. Um, and so, because for the longest, I didn't think any pastors or ministers, preachers, read the book. But some of the greatest modern evangelists and pastors and preachers of our time, they credit this book. They credit this book, and it's based off of Napoleon Hill. He was a writer. Grew up poor. He was a writer, and he was challenged by one of the actual titans of his time, still one of the richest men that ever lived, especially in America, Andrew Carnegie, of the Carnegie Hall family. Well, he was the beginning of the Carnegies, and so he challenged Napoleon Hill. He decided to mentor and coach him. This book's over almost 100 years old. This goes back 100 years. He challenges him to organize a success philosophy. Is basically what it was. They were readers of the Bible and everything, and you really had to read and study. So he challenged him to interview 500 of the wealthiest people of their day, the wealthiest people in industry and in entertainment and all the different industries. He challenged him, and so he and Andrew Carnegie gave him letters of introduction to all of these wealthy, prominent, influential people. The Rockefellers, um, the Vanderbilts, all of these big names that a lot of things that we see today, they had just started them, or they were in early stages. And so he, from his interviews, he came up with the Think and Grow Rich Science of Success philosophy, and put it into 13 lessons. Well, actually more than 13, but 13 is like the core. 13 lessons. Number one lesson is desire, but, and it's not a but. Desire, I like to say, desire is a starting point of all success. And so that's like a given. For me, there were a few other things in the book that, to this day, the book is influential to me, but they are tools that I use, and that a lot of people use, and this is where it really came from. The first one was organized planning. After desire, organized planning. So when you put together a plan, you actually um, well, before this, see, I have someone from Facebook. I want to give them a shout out even before I move forward here. Theodore Berg says, love your content, John. You may have discussed this before, but what are your thoughts on the rule of 72? Oh, okay, that was actually a question. And he has love Napoleon Hill and Earl Nightingale. Okay, so I'll discuss the rule of 72 uh, once I'm done here with the discussing this book here. And the rule of 72 is actually an investment. It's actually an investment tool. Well, um, okay, yes, and that's actually, I was letting on that is actually our cousin Theodore Berg. Okay, perfect. Well, what was I saying here? Oh, what I got from the actual book here. Um, Organized planning. What I got from organized planning is, when you're wanting, you have a desire and you're wanting to accomplish something, ideas just come, just they're constantly bombarding you. Especially a successful person is an ideas person. That's basically where financial success, wealth, everything, it really comes from an idea with organized planning wrapped around it and other principles put in place. So organized planning, for me at that time, I was wanting to, when I found the book, I was wanting to make some serious changes. I mean, like in career, everything. There was a lot of changes that was forcing America to actually go into change. And so I guess intuitively, I kind of knew that it was happening. And so in that particular time, I got like like crazy about finding information to help me, with these changes that I needed to make. And so organized planning helped me, all of the ideas that I was getting, and I was getting uh, advice from people, and I was writing everything down. I had all these notebooks. So this taught me how to organize it, where it needed to go, what I could use and what I didn't need to use, and how I could like implement it. And that's what organized planning in the book helped me with doing. Um, Number two was Mastermind Alliance. And the Mastermind Alliance are the people that you surround yourself with. Basically, and it holds true today, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And you've heard me say that before. When you're making changes, you need to audit. We talk about auditing a lot in personal finance, auditing every area of your finances. Well, your mastermind alliance should be audited also, because if you're surrounded by a lot of people that's not doing what you want to do, you're basically going to stay where you are. So that may mean not cutting this group, cutting them loose. You just may need to add some people to it to where you want to go. And like I say, I've talked about that quite a few times, because that's just how important it is. There's an old saying, coming from the country, growing up around farms and everything, grandfather, all of the farmers, guys, especially ones with chicken coops, they always said, you'll never see an eagle in a chicken coop. You'll never see an eagle in a chicken coop. And you'll never see a chicken in an eagle's nest. So there you go. If you want to be an eagle, you can't run around with chickens. And if you want to be a chicken, it won't be good to be an eagle. Eagles, they just won't run with them. So, and I know it sounds funny, and it is. This country is all outside, but hey, that's where I'm from. That's what I learned, and that's a valuable lesson. Your mastermind alliance, and in the mastermind alliance, you have to be very intentional with this group of people. These are the people that have connections, that have influence, they have the knowledge, the expertise that you will need. Um, I specifically, and I'll give you, how it worked with me. For instance, with this, I'm doing YouTube Live. Before doing YouTube, this is on YouTube, social media, and everything. Well, the show started off on public access in Charlotte. And I never done television. I never had any intention to do television. It was something that was presented to me, and it was just a good opportunity. I didn't know anyone in television. So reading this book, I was like, okay, I need to know people in television. And so the people that I was around and everything, I started asking questions. And so I had to build an alliance. So to this day, it's still some of those people in my alliance, part of my mastermind alliance, that I talk to. A couple of them, one of them, I talk to him every week about this. What I'm doing here is he's part of my mastermind alliance, and the plans that I have. These people are way, some of them are way ahead of me, and so I know when it's time, I can talk to them. They're part of my mastermind alliance. So every area in personal finance, I have master people from finance. A lot of people from finance are in my mastermind alliance. People from real estate, all of these different areas, insurance, the whole 9 yards. Consultants that understand building businesses, web, technology mastermind alliance. And so that was a very valuable lesson. Number 3, specialized knowledge. Getting specialized knowledge is usually the building block to other great opportunities for you. You see today, especially today, a person that has their hands in a lot of different areas. They started out in a specialty, and then because of them mastering a specialty, other opportunities came, and they were able to take advantage of them. And that way, they didn't try to take advantage of every opportunity, because they had specialized knowledge and they had a specialty. they were able to say, well, that doesn't really fit what I'm doing. It doesn't fit my specialty. It doesn't fit my brand, or whatever. But I know someone else who's because in their mastermind alliance, in their group of people, this opportunity may be better for others. So when you have a specialty, you're not afraid of opportunities, or of not taking advantage of all opportunities, because you're surrounded by a group of people that they're going to send opportunities your way. You're going to send them their way, and you don't have to like grab at everything because you're specialized. A generalist, that's what they do. They try to grab everything that comes their way. They try to grab it, hold on to it, and now they haven't mastered anything. And like they say, the jack of all trades, master of none. They can become very scattered. But when you have specialized knowledge, surrounded with mastermind alliance, with organized planning, you're on your way to being successful. And so those were the three that I got out of it, out of this book. And like I say, this book, the title says it all. Think and Grow Rich. It is, it's not just thinking, just sitting around thinking. It's actually organizing your thoughts. It teaches you how to organize them, how to find those other thoughts that you need. They're out there, and how to, basically how to decide what you want and how to get it. That's basically what the book teaches you, to decide what you want and show you a system on how to get it. It's a lot of it's just a book that needs to be in everyone's library, and the younger the better. The younger you could get, if you can get your kids to read this book, they will be well ahead of the game, because there's updated versions of it, written in more modern language and things like that. I like the older one. I do have a more modern copy. I just gravitate. This is the old one. This is the one that's been with me, all the time. So there you go. So let's wrap it up here for today. Going to the weekend. We talked about a good book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So my question to you is, name a book that you have read over and over. I read this book over and over, and I will continue to read it over and over. So my question to you is, name a book what is the name of a book that you have read over and over? So that being said, I want to thank you for tuning in today. I was supposed to answer a question. I was just about to leave, so I gave the question of the day. I have a question to answer. Rule of 72 is basically, how long does it take an investment to double? Which is most of the time, and that it's in the financial services industry, in investing. Rule of 72 basically says, and this is just a quick overview. At a certain rate of return, on average, it usually takes, in the stock market, for instance, I'm going to give that example. Rule 72 says your money should double every 7 years. Did I get that right, my people behind the scenes there? I just want to make sure I said it. That if you're getting the rate of return that historically the market has given, your money, your investment should double every 7 years. And that's the rule of 72 in a nutshell. If I would have gotten the answer to much question, gotten it earlier today, I would have just done the show on the rule of 72, which is an idea to do a show on the rule of 72. So that's what we'll do. When we do a show on investing, I would definitely go more in depth about the rule of 72. So I want to thank my cousin Theodore Berg on the question and the comment. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I answered that question. We can go deeper into it, and if you have more questions or comments, don't hesitate to contact us. If you need help with getting your finances in order, we're here. Go to the website or give us a call at our toll-free number. This is John McEntyre saying, until Monday, have a great weekend.